सो जा रे गुड़िया रे सपनों की दुनिया में खो जा रे गुड़िया रे सो जा रे मिल ले तू हर उससे जो तुझसे खोया मिल ले तू हर उससे जो तुझसे खोया खुशियों में मिल जा रे खुशियों में मिल जा रे भूल जा रे मिल जा रे खुशियों में मिल जा रे घुल जा रे मिल जा रे सो जा रे.
Today we are here with one of the most celebrated and most sought after solo performers of Indian theatre, Mallika Taneja. Mallika Taneja from Delhi has been in Indian performance scenario as a solo performer for the last 10-15 years, and some of the most wonderful and very important bodies of work she has created, like Thoda Dhyan Se, then the show what this edition of International Theatre Festival has featured her work. Do you remember this song? Mallika's works has been a unique style of work where she makes the audience always part of the performance, and also the most important thing what we can feel is that she finds or take the elements and subjects of her performances from our daily life, like from the family, from a very close society, very small things what we generally go unnoticed. She makes a performance out of it and find a true new meaning to those finer elements of our daily life and our seasoned life. So thank you, Taneja, joining us. How was your experience in the festival? I think you had been here with Thoda Dhyan Se about 8 years back.
Yeah, ITFOK is a special festival.
What sense?
I think all artists I know all over India and artists I also know internationally speak about ITFOK. They speak about how incredibly unique the experience of being at this festival is. It's absolute and utter beautiful chaos on the one hand, and this really very, very committed to theatre audience. You don't find this anywhere in the world, really. These serpentine queues, people so dedicated, so committed to watching theatre. They watch with so much love and they watch with so much attention. They really are invested in you. They care that you are here, and therefore you also care very much that you are in front of an audience, ITFOK, you know. For me, Thoda Dhyan Se was the first time I performed in ITFOK. ITFOK is also the only national festival that has curated Thoda Dhyan Se. Once Thoda Dhyan Se became a show that had nudity in it. It's the only festival, and ever since in India, no other festival has curated it. No other festival has taken the risk for it, basically.
I see.
It was ITFOK, you know. So for me, actually, this festival will be special and very close to my heart.
Close to your heart.
All the time, all the time. With this show, I mean, in some senses, I feel like I've passed a litmus test because I didn't know how audiences will react, respond. I know ITFOK audience is a dedicated audience, so they would also remember my previous work, which they do. Many people have come and told me, oh, you were here 8 years ago, we watched your show, and I was very touched also. And this work is different. It's different in form, it's different in desire, it's different in how I have done things, how I have chosen to say a story. And I think the fact that audiences have embraced this show and then after the show literally come and embraced me gives me, apart from a very overwhelming feeling that I've had this time, I'm terribly overwhelmed by the amount of love that has come my way. I really think, okay, now I know this show works. Because this audience has passed it.
Yeah. I was watching you performing yesterday. I was in the audience yesterday, and I was really, I found after the show, several audience, especially few women of in their middle ages or later, the early old age kind of coming and embracing you. And I found one lady not leaving you from her clutches, no?
Yeah.
So a long hug, and they, I mean, taking it to their heart, what they found. You remember this song, what you just left somewhere years back, no? So anyway, see, Taneja, now you are working in theatre, I understand, since childhood. You are coming from a family of theatre people like your father and mother. Taneja ji was one of the celebrated actors in theatre in Delhi. Would you just, I mean, how your journey since childhood into theatre and coming to, I mean, just doing little bit of, I mean, theatre in the school, college, and later growing and finding your space in theatre and realizing yourself as a performer and making a footage, pitching yourself in theatre, and later on decides to remain a solo performer, finding your own themes and your own performance language, just that trajectory. Can you just little bit for us? Yeah.
So it's true that, I mean, both my parents are from the theatre. They met while doing a play.
Is it?
Yes, and I think then it's only fair that now I also am, being a product of that kind of union, that I am now, I've chosen theatre as a path of my life. I didn't do so much theatre in school and all of that. I mean, I wasn't that kid that teachers were always picking to do the main role and all of that. It wasn't.
I remember somewhere you have mentioned in some of your early in the interviews you joined Kirodimal. Just a kind of, I mean, aspiration, more space for theatre comparing to other schools in under
school. So when I was in school, it was different. But I remember going with my father, and I happened to watch a play that Kirodimal College had done, and I was still in school. And that day, I had decided I'm going to go here. I knew it. I just so knew it. I was blown by what I was watching on stage. They had done a play called Manto.
Mantos, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then when it was time for me to get into college, I didn't do so well on my exams. So I didn't have so much marks, you know. So then I tried to get into college here and there. And I got college in IP college. But I wasn't in Kirodimal College, you see. So I went and I gave the audition for the Theatre Society.
Okay.
Because you have an extracurricular quota.
Right.
Some students, this is a thing in Delhi University. You take students on extracurricular quota.
True, right.
And I gave that audition and I got through. So I'm actually in KMC because of theatre. Because of a theatre quota.
Okay, there is Mallika is coming. She's a very talented girl. We'll have some asset in our theatre.
I don't know what
company.
they thought.
No, maybe.
I'm not sure. All I can say is that at that time, I suppose they saw enough in me to bring me into their society. And KM and the players, I think it just completely affirmed my journey in theatre, and totally, I mean, gave me um, a very clear path and
Okay.
direction. I mean, I think once I did theatre at the Players, the way, and you know, student theatre is a different kind of theatre
Right,
altogether.
right.
The kind of passion and a spirit with which student theatre happens and a student theatre society functions, it's very, very unique. You know, it doesn't happen later
Right.
in life.
Exactly.
And that has kind of laid for me the foundation of like what I expect from the theatre, being from the Players, what I think theatre is, what I think it should be doing in this world. And of course, you build on it and you take your own decisions, and then you even depart from those things and you mold differently and all. But I think KMC changed everything for me. Our teachers, Keval Arora, Shana Bhattacharya, Shomu,
Oh.
they molded things for us in a way that I don't think is even possible in the student societies any longer, because things have changed so much, universities have changed so much. I think even teachers have changed so much, you know,
Right,
now.
right.
They really showed us the path of what all it can be. And Keval, of course, Keval is the guru of so many of us.
Right.
So many of us. He really made space for us. He held that space for us. He made sure that that space doesn't die. This is the work of a teacher who really believes that student life is important, that theatre is important
To them.
and that this must always remain. Little bit like how I feel ITFOK also. Like this is a space. Like you can see that, of course, everybody understands that it's difficult to keep doing this year after year after year, but the space is being held on to. And I think audiences have a very big part to play in this.
Exactly, yes.
The audience demand has a very big part to play in the fact that ITFOK has to happen again and again, because audiences are saying, we want it.
Right.
You know. So there's a gritting of teeth and a, you know, grounding of feet
Right.
and saying, we are here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, I think your first visit to ITFOK was in, I think, 2014 when Shankar was the artistic director.
16, I think,
16.
when Shankar was the artistic
Thoda
director.
dhyan se.
Yes.
As I said, you just always pick the phrases as the names of your production.
Yeah.
Like the daily usage of sentences in a kind of, in a typical middle class family.
Yes.
Like thoda dhyan se. Thoda dhyan se is always parents always tell to their children, especially to girls, thoda dhyan se karo, you know. And from that you picking up the thread, and later on the thoda dhyan se, every parent or mothers and mothers tell to their girls in their adulthood, puberty kind of age, dhyan se karo, dhyan se, you are a girl, no, and that becomes a kind of pointer towards each parent.
Yeah.
You should be dhyan se.
Yeah.
Thoda dhyan se. You should be.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So it's a very kind of thing how you turn the things from one side to the other. The
Yeah.
perspective changes.
Yeah.
One perspective, you just put the other side and the whole scenario changes, and it becomes a kind of notifier for the spectator who are sitting in front of you to watch the show. And how that kind of trick, how that struck with you, and how you see yourself, how it works in each of your performance. And also one more thing, that was the thing, I think first time I'm watching in Indian theatre a kind of full nudity, where vulgarity, it needs an Indian scenario, a lot of courage for a performer.
Yeah.
To be, frontal nudity in front of an audience. Maybe it's a kind of secured, audience space, of course, but still it needs a lot of courage. And that's a kind of thing, good girl from good family. You are a good girl from good family at gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay.
So first I'll talk about twist of phrases from the daily. Actually, firstly, I don't think that it's a trick that I employ. I think this is how it comes to me.
Okay.
And I think, like many people around me, I find there to be poetry in the daily. And when you find poetry in the daily, then you kind of just pick something from the daily and you place it somewhere. That's it. Sometimes poetics is just about like how you place
Right,
something,
right,
you know, and it changes for itself. And I think Thoda Dhyan Se or Do You Know This Song, I think these names are resonant. One, of course, because people understand it and they've heard it, but also because they bring their own meaning to it.
Right.
So it's people bring in their own poetics to whatever it is that I'm trying to say. And this I find very valuable. I mean, audiences give layers to my work that I can't think of. I absolutely cannot imagine that, oh, this is also what it feels like and speaks as. Wow. I like that very much.
And
I
it
like this.
established the initial connection with the audience itself.
Yes,
Is it?
but everybody has their own entry point.
Right.
This is a beautiful thing about the theatre or art, for example, you know. Like, you don't look at a painting the way I look at a painting. And art that way can underline the uniqueness of each human being in such a profoundly simple manner. Just that you don't look at something the way I look at it, because my gaze is made out of my entire experience of life.
That's true.
You know, this I find to be profound, beautiful, and I enjoy this very much as a maker of theatre and as a doer of theatre. And so I also want that people have easy access into what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I don't find it very necessary to be extra in any way. I try not to be. Maybe sometimes I fall into those traps. And my experience of life is, fortunately or unfortunately or better for worse, as a middle class Indian, you know.
Right.
And often we start from what we know. We, of course, try and go towards what we don't. In some ways, in Thoda Dhyan Se, I've gone, with the artistic choice of nudity, I've gone towards what I don't know. In Do You Know This Song, with the artistic choice of singing, or even the story that I'm trying to tell, or whatever predicament I'm trying to present is actually a reality I don't really know. It's not my experience. It's what I'm noticing and I'm seeing and I'm thinking and I'm researching and I'm absorbing, which I'm trying to then regurgitate and put out on stage. And therefore, I think my work kind of is very middle class, you know, of a certain kind,
Right.
this, that. But my endeavor always is to keep asking myself, why should an audience watch this? That you want to tell a story, great, congratulations. But why should an audience come and sit and watch
Right.
this and listen?
True.
Why should they be standing in line buying a ticket, you know, bearing the heat? Why should they be here in this conversation? That's an answer I'm constantly searching. And I think therefore, because that is the endeavor, maybe that's why also people find connections. And that is why also I think I like to leave space for them to enter. And about courage, my feeling is that most of the time when people land up doing things that are unimaginable or feel a bit beyond themselves or feel like, how did they do this? I think people don't think it through. I definitely did not fully think it through. So I don't think the process is that you first gather the courage and you do it.
No, it's not.
You just do it.
It's a part of the process.
You just do it and then you realize, okay, what have you done? What has happened?
God, I done it.
Okay. It sounded like a good idea then. I mean, it is still a good idea, but now how am I to go forward with this? How am I to... So I think risk-taking of any sort, whether it is standing on stage without clothes, or setting out on a protest, or building a theatre in the middle of the jungle like our friend Shankar Venkateshwaran has done. I think if you truly understand the entire, if you actually do a proper risk analysis, you won't take the risk. You can't.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think there is a thing such as calculated risk. Or maybe there is.
Sit in a comfort zone and...
You can't. You take the risk and then you calculate.
Right.
Then you do, you know.
Karo, fir socho.
हाँ, कर दो. Then we'll see. And I'm very happy and I'm very lucky and very fortunate that there are many people around me who are willing to go in the risk with me, support me, give me space, open their homes, audiences who are willing to watch. I think I'm very, very, very lucky that I have this. Imagine if I didn't have this, then how to do things. I mean, I have deep and immense solidarity in this world, which I hope I also give back, and I hope I'm able to give back in every which way that I can. Yeah.
I understand that Thoda Dhyan Se, you had several performances, a kind of chain of performances happening in some sort of unconventional space, like houses or clubhouses and societies. Not taking this performance, very small kind of suitcase, you can fill all your props and all, costumes and everything, put the show. So that way you kind of a nomadic kind of travel, with your small briefcase, and kind of relate to a very intimate audience, putting the show. And there's a kind of journey outside is also a journey inside.
Yes.
How you how you relate your piece, your a piece of expression to the people and society at larger. Same time, you also may have a kind of constraint of putting this kind of works in for a unsecured place, in the sense where we can't predict the response or behavior of the audience. So it's also there, in fact.
Yes.
How you contemplate this that situation or selection of where the
I mean, I suppose every choice you make has its pros and cons. The nudity is a double-edged sword, of course. It's exactly what you said. On the one hand, it closed a whole lot of doors.
Right.
So like ITFOK being the only festival where, I mean, in India, the system of selection in festivals is by sending video. I cannot send a video of Thoda Dhyan Se to festivals. Simple. It is not an option for me.
Right.
I blur, I this, I that. It is a very, very uncomfortable thought that somebody will be sitting somewhere watching a video of this piece to decide whether it's not possible. It's not going to happen. Therefore, because the system of curation in Europe is different, which is that people watch and curate. So I have a lot of circulation with Thoda Dhyan Se in the international circuits, because I am not really sending a video. But in India, it's twofold. One is this thing of sending a video, and the other is that there has been a lack of space making for this piece on formal stages. In institutional spaces.
Also there.
I think it's definitely there.
The organizers.
Absolutely. Organizers have a very big doubt, very big fear. And we can discuss about that, whether it's okay or not or whatever. I find it pointless to think about that too much. It is what it is. So a lot of the institutional space has been shut to me, but what has opened up for me has been a way of performing this piece and taking it to audiences that would never actually have come to the theatre otherwise. Right. I've been in drawing rooms in people's homes. I've been in basements and garages and, little spaces. Once I've done it in my own home for 10 people. I've performed for 300 people. I've performed for 5 people, 3 people, 10 people. I mean, it's, it is actually this has what really has made me an independent artist. So I'm not only a solo artist because I also do a lot of ensemble work and etc. etc. But I'm an independent artist, and the independence has also come from this, from being able to pack my house in my car and a suitcase and go anywhere, set up, do my show and say, yeah, I can do this. We can do this, you know. Drawing rooms are my stage. Every place I want to, any place I want to perform in is my stage. Yes, there is a question of safety, security. There is a question of not being able to take it to a certain wider range of audience. It is there. But will I therefore shift the nudity? No. No. I think I would have done it by now. Do I think that more ways of doing the piece can be explored? Yeah. Do I think more bodies should enter this piece? Yeah. Can it have more voices? Yeah. By this I mean, do I think that my body and my voice is alone for enough? Alone is enough for a piece that is dealing with a subject like Thoda Dhyan Se? No. So now I want to see how can I open this piece up? How can more people perform it? How do they interpret nudity? How do they interpret these words Thoda Dhyan Se? What if a different colored body walks into this? You know, what if a disabled body walks into this piece? What if a queer body walks into this piece? What happens to these words Thoda Dhyan Se? Does it make us come closer? Do we start to see finer details? So it's very exciting to think about all of this. And I think alternate space making also has a lot to do with wanting to go in this direction, in this khichdi.
I think that kind of formula, like making our own, finding our own space and our own audience, kind of a thing. I think we also, when we were in kind of art management thing and all, it just gave some kind of insights how to manage ourselves, our profession and our products, kind of things. No, that's the first time I'm meeting you in 13, 14. I think I was then the third batch, and you are my super senior.
No, I'm not super senior.
In the art management.
1 year senior or something.
Okay, anyway, 1 year, that's it. So I was just watching, who is this girl coming? Delhi at that time. This is Mallika Taneja. Oh, great, wonderful. And you are senior, so I was quite feared about coming and say hello to you, Mallika, I'm Kesavan, blah, blah, no, kind of things. And we were so disciplined in that program. So anyway, as a past, but anyway, from this performance to performance, venue to venue, audience to audience, there will be kind of slow kind of evolution happening. Because I've seen you, for example, you remember this song. A scene when you done its first phase of rehearsals in Shankar space in Attapadi, second theatre, you know. So that evening when I was watching, this is totally changed. In fact, almost okay. The thread and everything is, though it remains same, the finer elements, very kind of the minute things and nuances. A lot of change happened. The production has so developed and it has become a kind of a complete kind of a structure and body the performance piece has got. So yesterday I was saying the way this is more participatory. In fact, you made this a participatory performance, not be kind of participatory in the sense the audience should not sit passive. Be part of the performance. You are inviting them. The moment each audience cutting their ticket at the gate and getting inside, you are doing very small kind of, keeping these dolls in its place and kind of looking at almost everybody feel you just glance at them and say hello, a good girl in a good family, making some kind of birthday party is going to happen. You are coming, so I'm making small arrangements for you to make our house most comfortable for you. arranging the things, kind of things. And so inviting them and taking their complete attention to this center ale where the all activities happen for almost 10 hours or so. So, kind of engaging them. And I've seen and making them singing, making them, putting the rhythm in every phase of the performance, always keeping them in the performance, and also kind of detaching them at some points, the kind of switching kind of a thing. The trick works, in fact, no? The people feel it's my show, it's my show. So I'm doing the performance, I'm also performing, That's the kind of thing what makes them. And I felt several people, they themselves would have certainly asked themselves, where I remember that song which I used to sing years back. No?
Yeah.
So how that evolution happened from the day your first phase was concluded, first phase of rehearsals concluded in Sahyendra Theatre in Attapadi, and later on you finish it in your home city. Then it just go to theatre spectacles, Zurich, and other festivals abroad. Now you are here in Trichur back. So Attapadi and Trichur again, in Kerala.
Yes.
It started in Kerala. Now it matured, and now you are with the matured product again back in Kerala.
Yes.
So, and during that journey, the performance now as a whole performance piece, it has grown much, and it is kind of in its full form. Can you just tell me how that process, how it took, whether it is a kind of in one stretch, a kind of maybe a second schedule of rehearsals, or maybe through performances, few performances together in a line. Yeah.
Actually, one very crucial thing happened after our sharing at Sahyendra Theatre when I went back to Delhi.
Okay.
Which is that I wrote the lullaby, So Jare.
Oh, okay.
That was not there in Attapadi.
Yeah, it was
had not
there.
arrived
Right,
yet.
right. I remember that it's not there.
Yeah. Once the lullaby arrived, then the entire play revolved around the lullaby then. Right? It just shifted around it suddenly. See, I always knew. I knew that I want people to sing together. I always knew that I want people to sing and I want to go to sleep. These are things I just knew since very before. But I hadn't arrived at that place by the time I finished the residency in Attapadi. The residency in Sahyendra gave me, because we had already been doing a lot of work. I came with something that got deeply challenged in Sahyendra. Then I twisted, turned, shifted, something, arrived at a few things and presented to an audience that didn't understand the language I was speaking at all. They only spoke Malayalam. You were doing translations for me during the show.
Right.
So the question of language was very, very challenged there, and what we can achieve beyond it also was kind of like made available. And then, of course, we always had another phase of doing when we went back to Delhi. But once the lullaby arrived, then I had that song that I wanted people to sing together. Before that, I didn't have it. Because before that, the three songs that I'm singing, I had them. But they weren't it. I knew that these were not the songs. And then this song arrived. I don't know how else to say it. It just arrived.
Yeah, it happens now in the kind of, sometimes in a creative piece, it happens. All of a sudden you get the
and this changed everything.
Right. It changes the whole stream.
And then because I have the extreme fortune of traveling with the sound designer of the piece, we just had shows to keep developing. My Chayan is a very good artist and musician. And he's very invested in developing the design. So we kept developing, you know. It's just that I didn't stop, he didn't stop. We just didn't stop developing the work. I think actually, you know, when we open a work, my feeling is, at least when I open a work, I think I open it at 50%, 60%. The rest of the 40%, which actually makes the production, for me happens through the shows, especially a show like this, which is so interactive.
Right.
How do you build this without an audience?
Right. You
And
can't.
it was also incomplete because we opened it with just, even in Delhi when we did our shows, there was only one audience participation. But it didn't make sense, you know. You can't, you know, you had to, dramaturgically, I have to complete the arc.
Yes, that's true.
And it took time to arrive at that because you can only do this with audiences, and during our making process we didn't have an audience like that, you know. Once we started finding an audience, once we started playing to people, once we started getting feedback, we also got more confident. We also I understood a lot of things, and so we could finish the work. I think that's the only thing that has happened, that we just finished it. Still, I know that there's this, not this. I have to do something here, I have to do something here. This is not good, this has to be replaced, you know. I think theatre is a life, you know. A piece is a life. And I think it lives. It always needs maintenance. It always, it will always need something to be done. It never stops.
True.
I think that's great. Live performance, it's alive.
Yes. Which point of time Bindu Malini, we know Bindu Malini and MT Pallavi.
Yes.
They're one of the wonderful performance musicians. Of course, they're their own specialized area, though they are in other capacity, their own musicians and vocalists. In this work also, Bindu Malini has contributed.
Yes.
That's really kind of, Bindu Malini's, what we know Bindu Malini's and MD Pallavi's body of works, how several remarkable performances, what they have contributed to it. Of course, as MD Pallavi herself also, at which point you decides to connect Bindu Malini with the music? You are also good singer, learn music, you sing excellently. But what point of time you wanted Bindu Malini to join you in this production?
Actually, when I knew that I wanted to make this piece, of course I didn't know it's going to be this kind of a piece or whatever, or I knew that I'm making a piece with songs in it, and I knew that I'm going to be singing. So I realized that, okay, now I have to train.
Okay.
So in December 2021 or November 2021, I started singing. I got to know of Bindu Malini's morning mela. She does this morning half an hour riyaz online.
Okay.
And a few people join. Many theatre artists join. Nimmi joins also. Just as half an hour riyaz. And actually I called her, Bindu. We did one online project together. Before that, I was listening to her singing during COVID. You know, COVID has a very big part to play in this piece, you know. And we can talk about that later, that how this is really a post-COVID piece in many ways, and how so much work that is coming right now, even though we are not calling it that, is post-COVID work.
Right.
I got to know of Bindu when she was singing. Every day she used to sing for 10 minutes.
Right.
Here for you.
Yes.
You know. And there was a generosity in it that touched me deeply. And then I programmed that as part of an online program I had made called Rest of the Struggle for a German festival, Spielart Festival. And then I called her one day and I said, Bindu, I want to learn. I in my life have had many attempts of learning music and failing.
Oh, I see.
Never able to see it through. Either the teacher and me, it's not good, or I just, I don't have money to pay the classes. Generally, I didn't have the support system to really do music. And I couldn't build the support system for myself. Till 2-3 years ago, that I am as old as I am now. I'm older, okay, I have some money, I'm slightly more stable. I want to do this piece, so maybe I can do it now. But still, I know that, I will not fly in a Guru Shishya sort of thing. It doesn't work with me.
Right.
And there are many people with whom it doesn't
Yes,
work,
that's very true.
I won't be able to,
Udo, Riyaz Karo.
this Riyaz is not a problem, but the worship of the Guru
Right.
in a certain way.
Submission kind of thing.
This I
Right.
know I can't do, and it's not about whether it's right or it's not for me.
Right.
And I called her and I said that, Bindu, I really want to learn, but I can't do it this way and that way, and I don't know where to go. And she said, I do this morning mela, why don't you join if you
join,
find it
right.
interesting?
Okay.
That was the day, and today I do morning mela. So the space that Bindu Malini has held for 3 years, 2.5, 3 years now, has helped me so gently find my voice, stabilize my voice, extend my notes, really have confidence that I can do this. It has given me music in my head and my heart and my home every morning. And this is very, very special.
Uncovering the music in you.
It has unleashed it, I
Unleashed,
think.
yeah.
It really has allowed me to say, okay, here, go, do. And the best part about it is that she was not sitting on my head and saying, go, do.
Right.
She was just creating a space and saying, why don't you come and see what you want to do? This is the generosity of Bindu Malini. And I wanted her to be the primary musician on the piece, but Bindu Malini is a heavily busy artist.
Right.
No dates. So I said, Bindu, please, can you do? I would like you to... I didn't even know what to say to her. I didn't know what I wanted her to do. I just need a musician, you be the musician. So first she said, I don't have dates. First it was a no. Then 1 month I looked here, I looked there. Chayan was not in the picture here.
Okay.
It was Bindu right now. Then 1 month I looked here, looked there, looked at some other artists, But I had seen Bindu Malini,
Right.
Now other artists are not feeling like, I'm feeling like, yeah, good, but
But nobody can do the work what she does.
Yeah, now what to
that.
do? So call up Bindu Malini again, Bindu, please can you? Then she took a pause and then she said, okay. I said, okay? She said, yeah, I don't have too much time, we'll manage somehow. But okay. I said, okay. That's it. And that's how Bindu was here. Bindu has reimagined all the songs. I mean, I've used archival material. Some of them are traditional folk songs. Some of them are songs from old theatre plays. Bindu has reimagined all those songs for me. Bindu has shown me pretty much where all these songs can go, how all it can happen. It's her, It's not me. I am not the musician. I am just singing on stage. And Chayan is the one who has arranged, put it together. He's given, he plays live with me. Without Bindu Malini and Chayan, this piece could not be musical as it is.
Right.
I don't have the talent for it. I only had the desire to sing. But these are the people who put that desire, who molded my desire, and with so much love and generosity. I mean, sometimes I sit and think, why do they do it? Why? I mean, it's my wish to sing on stage, my wish to tell this story. Why are these people so invested? I don't know. Maybe I did something very good in my past life, and to have Bindu's voice in the piece, her voice is in the piece, the forest of loops, after the Amma song
Right.
is her.
Okay.
Oof.
And
I mean,
I know it's the one surprising, one very interesting thing is that when Bindu done the music, she has selected the ragas of pentatonic and a very simple for the any layman also can like you opening the piece with I think it's Bob I think the rag.
actually, she has not. I went to her with the songs.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
told her this, these are the songs.
Okay.
And I have not worked
The raga,
with...
I mean the ragas and
No, so I have not... actually, it's interesting that you say this because I have not picked the song from understanding the raga, but I
okay.
think I have understood something intrinsically about the
Okay.
raga having a
Some of-
feeling.
yeah.
And I've gone towards that feeling. But
Okay.
if you ask me which rag is this, which rag is that, I don't know. She has, of course.
No, anyway, it's a ridiculous question for a performance. Also, I was just.
No, but I'm saying that there is
It's
something.
not a concert, and in fact.
No, I'm saying that there is something so beautiful about music
right.
and how we access it.
Right.
That even though I don't know which rag it is and how to frame it, somewhere you know, because you feel, you know. And of course, Bindu has broken things down for me and she
Okay.
said, this is this, this is that. I, of course, have thrown the rag all out of... I think I mix 7 rags together when I sing, you know, because I don't have
And
that
that's
kind
what
of
theatre
training.
Is the, I mean,
Which is why I will
space
always
it
say...
gives, you can do
I'm a
anything.
theatre
and you
artist, I'm not a musician.
Yeah. I'm not in a concert.
No.
I'm doing a theatre.
Though I have to say, the ITFOK shows felt like a stadium gig.
Right.
You know, it was like suddenly,
Okay.
there was like people everywhere. You have to sing to
Okay.
so many people. It was really like, it
Okay.
was truly special.
Okay.
It was really remarkable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one question, I mean, one thing I found asking you in, I mean, maybe of interesting. This work, you remember my song.
Do you know this
yeah,
song?
do you remember this song? You have done it in Zurich,
Yeah.
Belgium,
Yeah.
and several European festivals
Yeah.
and countries also. How the audience, the festival, I mean, the audience there in those locations, where their participation to the work, how was it? I mean, at a point of time, you, of course, maybe finding it bit not as easy. You can connect it with the audience in India. How you were having kind of feeling when you going there with this production to put the show to Europe, and thinking about how I'm going to connect the Europe, the a kind of cultural
Yeah.
alienated people. How did you manage that, and what was your take on it?
You know, you can't manage it. This is the work you have made. You have a show tomorrow in Zurich, you do it. And you get to know what happens. There isn't much you can manage. And I generally don't like this thing of I wouldn't change essentially what my piece is to bring it closer
It
to a
shouldn't,
European
in fact.
audience.
It shouldn't, in fact.
You know, so I feel, yes, I know that when the pressure cooker goes off here, I don't have to explain.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing has to be explained.
It's very
There we have
Right.
to explain.
explain it.
Okay, small write-up can be given. Then you can also look on the internet what the pressure
Right.
cooker means to an Indian kitchen.
Indian kitchen, right?
You know, lots of information is available on the internet and people do also. But I think emotions, human beings, they all have the same. And to my utter surprise, I have to say, because I was very skeptical, it's going to work, it's not going to work. People connected deeply emotionally with it, deeply. So what they don't understand, but something they do understand. And that's enough.
It was in Spielat also, no?
Spielat,
There's a very wonderful audience in Spielat audience.
yes.
I was there in the Spielat Festival, I think in 2014 edition of,
Right.
It's a really amazing festival
Yeah.
of alternate works, no?
Yeah.
The audience
It's a very
is
big
very-
festival,
big festival,
and there's
right.
lots of artists
Right.
and
Right.
lots of people. I mean, you see a lot of work. There's so much work, I think you can't see
Yes,
it all.
yes.
Yeah. So that way it's been surprising and very rewarding that the work actually truly speaks to a very wide range of people. this is the work that I can take to very many different places. Thoda Dhyan Se was not that work.
Not that
Thoda
work.
Dhyan Se was a
Right.
different work. It did a
Exactly.
different thing.
Right, right.
This is the work I think that
Right.
can go everywhere and can be with very many people. And I can see slowly how very many people connect with it. Here in Trichur, so many men, young men, old men, have come to tell me how they have connected with this. So this is not just about women. I would love to sit and like listen to what are they seeing in this work, because I often think that my work, women connect
Right,
more.
right, right, right.
Yes, even this one. But so many men are coming and saying how they have enjoyed and
Right,
loved
right,
and felt
right,
and
right,
moved
right,
with the work. I'm very grateful for that.
Each one hold closely to their heart, in fact, once
Yeah.
they saw your
Yeah.
piece. It has that kind of magic which really connects
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
heart.
And actually, after the war, what happened in Belgium, because I was performing literally a week within the Israel-Palestine war.
Right, okay.
This genocide, actually. And a lot of people brought a lot of the sadness of this horrific, unending violence
Right.
in Gaza. That people, the helplessness and sadness, they brought it with them into the theatre and connected a lot of this sadness also. So I feel like when there is space, like I said, for people to access, then they make use of the space as they wish. Instead of me deciding for them how they should watch, what they should watch, how they should Of course, this play is not at all about that
Right.
conflict.
True.
Of course not, But I'm always surprised by the depth that audiences can bring to your art. You don't know yourself how much depth there is. They bring it.
True, that's true. Now I understand your some ideas to plan travel of this work.
Yes.
I also hope you will be visiting Kerala for a larger
Yes, I love Kerala.
number of works from one point to another point, traveling
Yeah.
with your work and
It's really my
Putting
desire.
shows.
I mean, I really truly love Kerala. This food is my favorite food. I eat it all the time. I really, really love being in Kerala. So if I can have a really long tour of just performing very many places in Kerala, it will be the best thing for me. Yeah. No, it's a really, really wonderfully engaged people, interested people who care about the arts in a way that you don't find too many other places,
when you will be coming?
Hopefully in the second half of the year.
Second half of the year.
Hopefully.
Okay. Post monsoon.
Which is when? August.
Maybe after September, October. And
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be. And also, Mallika, I understand, no, not understand, I feel certainly you should be anyway being in Delhi. Nowadays, for the last few years, Delhi is the center of activities, the happenings, center of happenings,
I stay
So,
at
like
home a lot. I
CAA,
don't know. Yeah.
JNU,
It's the political capital
the
and
farmers struggle. Now it's again going on.
yeah.
The way drones pumping tear gas,
yeah.
kind of barricades of
Yeah.
concrete, nails, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The kind of how the state, encounter their own people.
Yeah.
It's a terrible situation.
Yes.
You being in the center stage of those happenings.
Yes.
I know you were also concerned about it and you were also reacting to those
Yes.
happenings. And it's really, kind of, we artists cannot get, keep ourselves away from it. Being in the middle of the happenings. No, you live there, you breathe there. So, what do you feel about as an artist, especially in Delhi? We know not only in Delhi, everywhere throughout the country, we artists really struggle at this time to get a pitching and to how to pitch our works, how to make our works. A lot of theatre people who are working so, actively once, our majority had to. They can't. They don't know how to work and what to work, and kind of basically lot of kind of constraints we work with, not only in the matter of funding, but also the whole political scenario in the country. You have to be very careful on each step. What do you do and where to put your foot? No. What do you think about it?
I mean, these are trying times, and I say this as a person who's not even suffering really the trials and tribulations of the times. And if a person like me also has to constantly have this question of, can I say this? Will this get me into trouble? What kind of trouble? Then what does it do to my ability to express, or freedom of expression, or freedom of creativity? So I think on the one hand, we are finding ourselves stunted by the kind of oppression that we are seeing, the kind of silencing of voices that we are seeing. On the other hand, I think people are looking for ways. People are watching, people are waiting, people are looking, people are searching, people are trying. And I think whatever is happening will pass. It will have a very big cost, a very big cost. I know that. But I think somewhere I also feel like we have to be prepared for that day.
Yeah, right. It's hope of always artists. Also the kind of
we have to hold on to space, keep trying to create space, keep trying to say something, and yet keep trying to keep ourselves out of as much trouble as possible, because you can ask any political prisoner right now, do they actually want to be in jail?
Right. That's true.
They don't.
That's a question.
Do we think that this is any way of living? No. You know, that you put somebody who's on a wheelchair on a floor without a bathroom, or somebody's spectacle breaks and they can't see and they don't have it for days to come. I mean,
it's horrible, like
it is a terrible situation.
Person like Maya Krishnarao and all had to leave Delhi and relocate to other cities.
Yeah.
So like person like Maya Krishnarao and all had to face things, and the kind of other artists, even lesser known, like those.
See what happened in Pune University right
Pune
now.
University,
students are going to do what students do, right? Like you can't, I suppose you can barge into any room, peep into any window,
right,
and see what's happening, and then take them to jail for it. What do you do in such a situation? This is the crisis of our time amongst many other crises, and we have to find an answer. Delhi is a tough
city.
Place for this.
Yeah.
We are so bang in the center of all this political turmoil. I mean, just being a person from Delhi, just looking at my own city, how it has changed, how the colors have changed, how the aesthetic has changed, how my neighbors have changed.
That's a really concern, no? How the neighbors change. The person.
It's very telling.
Yeah.
It's very telling that, okay, we are really in this moment. Okay.
Thank you, Mallika, for joining us, and
thank you.
We look forward to your, Pan Kerala tour.
Yes.
And hopefully, the people of Kerala more people will be, happy to watch you more and more. And you being a special artist for Kerala. And the
Kerala is
ITFOK
special
also.
for me.
Right. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Mallika.
you so
Thank
much,
you very
Kesavan.
much.
Thanks.
Nice.